Dr. Shama Mohammad, Shivraj Singh Chauhan says the earlier MNREGA gave a guarantee of 100 days of employment. Under the new scheme, it's been increased to 125 days. The cost of over 1.5 lakh crore rupees, centre would bear about 95,000 crore rupees. So it's an improvement. He says the Congress and the opposition have torn the decorum of parliament to shreds, and democracy, in his words, was reduced to mob rule and thuggery, ma'am.
So when it comes from a party and a minister who lies from morning to night, who are called bol bachchans because they just keep telling things which they don't happen, I cannot believe it. Let's understand in 2014, what did Mr. Modi call MNREGA? It will continue to live as the failure, monumental failure of the Congress government. So from that day onwards, Narendra Modi wanted to get rid of MNREGA. Now let's understand the new bill. What is it called? It's called the Vixit Bharat Guarantee for Rojgar and Ajivika Mission Grameen. So it's called the Vixit Bharat Gram Bill. I don't know how you pronounce it any other way because that's what it says. And this bill clearly says one very important thing. That is, it's section 4.5, that is, central government shall determine state-wise normative allocation for each financial year based on prescribed objective parameters. That means the central government will decide on how the funds will be spent. In the original bill, 100% of the wages were given by the central government. Now, 60% of the wages will be given by the central government and 40% by the states. So therefore, the burden is a lot on the states now. But on top of that, the central government decide how the funds will be allocated. For example, 60% of Kerala can be 1,000 crores and 60% of UP can be 5,000 crores. Now here, what in the original bill, 100 days were guaranteed. Here in 125 days, there is no guarantee. They said it can happen, it cannot happen. There is no guarantee. And of course, when the state has to spend the money, there is a problem. In 2018, the other thing the Modi government says is that what happens because of MNREGA, a lot of farm people do not get agricultural workers. This is wrong because in 2018 Niti Aayog meeting, where the CMs of BJP states were there, they said clearly that because of MNREGA, they get workers for agricultural labor.
Now, you've raised multiple points. Let me take it step by step. Let me take it step by step. Let me take it step by step so that it's not a monologue. Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan, both Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Mallikarjun Kharge say the centre has conveniently shifted the burden of the scheme on states. This is anti-poor, according to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. States will not have funds, so the scheme will either remain on paper or be consigned to the back burner.
Gauravji, it's very important to understand a couple of things first. I was listening to the Congress party, I've listened to the Congress party leadership. Mahatma Gandhi belonged to the entire country. There is not a sole ownership over the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi of the Congress party or the Gandhi family only. We have to understand. And if their commitment to Mahatma Gandhi's ideas is so much, then in his last will and testament, right before his death, he said that the Congress party should discontinue as a political organization and they should take an avatar of a non-political social organization committed for social work. Did they follow that advice of Mahatma Gandhi? Absolutely not. Point number one. Point number two, you have to understand why is the Congress party worried about federalism so much? Congress party has a history of dismissing democratically state government. Point number three, after the 14th and the 15th Finance Commission, the state government revenue has also seen substantial increase. We have to understand the Congress party is in Telangana, Karnataka, but in the maximum number of states, it's the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Bharatiya Janata Party state government would also share the responsibility. What the Congress party calls a burden, we call it a responsibility. It's a shared responsibility. It's not a binary of 0 and 1 of central government and the state government. It's the collective duty and the responsibility of the governments across the country and the central government as well. As far as the budget allocation is concerned, let me be very clear. Let us make this clear at the very outset. The Congress allocation of data was mere 2 lakh crore. But the NDA government has ensured more than 8.5 lakh crore. Look at the geotagging of the properties, look at the asset creation, look at the number of employment days that has been generated. It has been a substantial increase under NDA Prime Minister Modi. When PM said that MNREGA scheme was only focusing on non-productive works, Mahatma Gandhi said, and we follow, that the villages should have their own economy. Grameen Arthvyavastha, Gram Swarajya, Atmanirbharta. What we intend to do, that the intent and the vision of Mahatma Gandhi would be followed through this new amendment. Instead of 100 days, 125 days of employment guarantee.
But where is that guarantee of 125 days?
For this scheme.
Where is that guarantee?
There is no guarantee.
Okay, of 125 days. But I want to quickly bring in Siddharth Zarabi on merits and Neerja Choudhury on merits, because Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Neerja Choudhury says discussions went on till 1:30 at night. 95 MPs spoke. Now, is the conduct of the Congress, as the minister says, a blot on democracy, tearing parliamentary papers to shreds, mob rule being reduced to thuggery, parliament being reduced to mob rule and thuggery?
I think all that was avoidable. But, MNREGA was a very central part of the rights-based approach that the UPA government followed in its first term. You remember that? And the day NAC, National Advisory Council, headed by Sonia Gandhi, met in July of 2004, I remember the first day at the first meeting, MNREGA was the one that was mooted. Right to Information and MNREGA, both were part of the Congress's manifesto. And that very afternoon, I remember at 4 o'clock, the entire NAC team went to call on the Prime Minister. Again, he said, "Kaisa raha discussion?" And they talked about MNREGA. And at that time also, the Prime Minister said, "How much will it cost?" And somebody gave a figure. So he said, "Oh, that much money." But anyway, they went ahead with it. And this rights-based approach of the Congress and the UPA won the Congress dividends in 2009 when they came back to power with an increased majority. Now, MNREGA is very central to, very close to the Congress's heart, if one can put it that way. So the strong reaction from the Congress was to be expected. Now, the bill that's coming is very interesting. Instead of Mahatma Gandhi, it is G Ram G, and I think that probably is not an accident. It's, of course, Vixit Bharat Guarantee for Rojgar and Ajivika Mission, Grameen. But it means, if you say all this, I will never be able to remember. Ordinary people will not remember. The moment you say G Ram G, it's like a greeting, Ram Ram Ji, as we say to people. So it is going to stick in people's heads. Now, that is where this government and this Prime Minister are adept at political marketing. Okay. And of course, it is a different bill. It's different in many ways. There is the funding that's been different. It's become, of course, all through Congress regime, the economic development was top down. But there has been a demand of late that it become a bottom-up approach. And in MNREGA, of course, the states were consulted about what was the demand coming from the district. That was the earlier model. Now the center will decide. Apart from 60-40 ratio that center and states will have to share, which may affect the poorer states.
But you recall even in 2012, and I'll come to that question in just a moment, Jairam Ramesh, then as Minister Neerja Choudhury, had said words to the effect in that magazine interview to Yuvadesh, whether it had become a ditch-digging exercise or words to that effect. And I'll come to that in just a moment. Is that better, or should it be performance-linked or productive scheme? We'll debate that in just a moment. But Siddharth Zarabi, on merits, does the new bill that passed the Lok Sabha litmus test snatch away rural jobs, as Mallikarjun Kharge claims? Priyanka Gandhi Vadra says the burden shifts to states. There'll be no funds, so employment will go down.
Let's break it up. On the first bit, which is the most important bit, does it dilute the statutory right for an unemployed rural person to demand work? The final wording of the bill aside, it's clear that that is not diluted per se in the manner in which it is sought to be portrayed. In fact, it rises by 25 days. Effectively, if enough man days of work are made available, and there are concerns that in the past, not all 100 days have been available.
Yep.
A rural worker can actually stand to earn 25% more.
In fact, Siddharth, if I may, I'll come back to you, but look at these graphics that are playing out. Even in the past, it was 54 days, 75 days, 72 days, 61 days, 59 days, depending. So even 100 days, though guaranteed, were not actually happening, Siddharth. Can you explain that?
Absolutely, because there was not enough work or there were other issues. Now let's take another element that is attached to it. Some people criticize that, which is this 60-day standstill of sorts, which in policy design is aimed to ensure that farming season does not see a shortage of farm labor.
Sharad Pawar wanted that in 2011, if I remember correctly.
In fact, there were complaints that because of this, there were not enough hands that were available for agriculture labor, and we know that there has been transmigration within states on that account. So what it really does, and the funding bit, Gaurav, very quickly on that, if you just add up what has been spent from 2014 till now, and the peak funding year for this scheme was in the COVID year of 2020-21, it's almost 8,80,000 crore have been spent. What does this 60-40 formula do? It's not for all states, it's for the better off, financially better off states. Okay. It does transfer some of the burden to the states. But remember, because of the 4 new or rejigged baskets of work, more productive work can result. So I think opposition to the nomenclature change and all of the ideological biases that have crept into this debate just because it is Jairam Ji, keep that aside, and that's for the politicians to debate. Does this scheme of almost 2 decades need some revamp? Does it need reform? Does it need tweaking? For an India of 2026 and beyond, where you have labor shortages, where other welfare schemes have increased, free food did not exist in 2004.
Yes.
So there is a lot more money that is being spent on the social welfare account. I completely disagree with this statement that the earning of rural people is being reduced. In fact, it has been given enhanced on other schemes. Did this scheme need reform? Absolutely it did. Even the CAG has called for reform. So why have a problem? Do not conflate opposition to Ramji with a certain reform of a scheme in its
That's
details.
a very big point. Is this opposition to the name of Ramji coming, Dr. Shama Mohammad? If I may, Dr. Shama Mohammad, Jairam Ramesh, then as Rural Development Minister, if I remember correctly, June 2012, and this was an interview to Congress magazine Yuva Desh, he said NREGA should not remain a ditch digging scheme, or words to that effect. कितने गड्ढे खोदोगे तुम, कितने तालाब का पुनर्निर्माण करोगे, कितना वृक्षारोपण करोगे? Now, are some of those structural issues being addressed? And if so, why fling papers unless it is opposition to the name of Ramji coming?
So first of all, it's not Ramji, it's Gramji. So let's not change the name. You know, how can they change something?
It is
Ramji. No, it is Gram. It is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It is Vixit Bharat Guarantee for Rojgar and Ajivika Mission Bill. So it's Gram G Bill. So please do not change things and add things which is not there. Then they should have put up something, you know, Ram ke naam mein Rojgar. That would have been to Lord Ram, you know, that would be better. But don't change names and say it's G Ram G, it's Gram G. That's how the pronunciation is. Now, there is this business guy who is in your panel. He went on saying...
He's a group business editor.
Yeah,
Siddharth
whoever
Zarabi.
it is, the group, yeah, whatever.
It's not whoever,
Siddharth.
just respectfully.
Yeah,
It's
Siddharth
Zarabi, a business editor.
Yeah, okay, whatever. He was going on praising the scheme of Mr. Modi because I think he loves him. I just want to ask him one thing. Before 2014, 100 days work were there. We know it. We have the data. One. Number two, what is the unemployment rate in the country now? From 2004 to 14, the unemployment rate was hardly anything compared. Here, it is now 8 to 10%. Now, when there is so much of unemployment, you don't even want to give employment to the poorest of the poor? I mean, how anti-poor is this government, and is your group business editor, is what I was thinking at that point of time. You know, we know what is the situation in India right now. the Congress government or the UPA government always stood with everybody. That's the point. We got in the Food Security Act, we got in MNREGA, we got in right to education. Yes, they should be capitalism, but at the same time, we should have a small part of us which is socialist, because there are a lot of poor people in this country. And about that agriculture thing, that the labor was not available, is wrong. I've also quoted a Niti Aayog meeting in 2018, in which clearly the chief ministers of the BJP ruled government states have said that the MNREGA helped get agriculture labor. I want to tell one point of what Guru Prakash said. He says that, states our BJP states are also there. Yes, that's what I said. The amount which is sent from the central government depends on what the central government wants. It is 60%. That's what I said. The 60% for Kerala can be 1,000. Whereas for UP, they will give 5,000. That is what you have to understand, Guru Prakash. And one very important point, why I know this government wants to get rid of it. We know the case, what happened in West Bengal. The government went to the High Court saying that the money is not being sent by the central government. High Court said the central government had to send it, give it to the West Bengal government. Then the central government went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court agreed with the High Court. So that itself shows that this government wanted to scrap the scheme from the beginning. And you talked about gaddas. Who is the one who said, khodoge gaddas ye scheme ke liye? That is Mr. Modi. He is the first one who said, ye gadde kodne ke liye hai ye scheme. And he said it's the monumental failure of the Congress government. From 2014 onwards, he wanted to scrap it, but he should remember that this is the scheme which saved the poor during the COVID. And he knows that.
Fair enough, ma'am. You've made your point. Since you've made two specific references to respected guests of mine on this broadcast, Siddharth Zarabi, would you want to go first? Then I bring in Guru Prakash Paswan and Neerja Choudhury. But Siddharth Zarabi.
It's unfortunate that people respond personally, and I think it only behoves the person who said that.
I did not respond personally. I said I did not respond. I didn't call you anything. I just responded to what you said.
When you were speaking, no one interrupted you. Extend the same courtesy to Mr. Zarabi.
Personally, I will not let that happen here. I said what is
the facts of the matter is
you have
that
not
if you look at absolute spending,
it just skipped out of your mind.
Ma'am, you've made that point. Only Mr. Zarabi. Ma'am, let Mr. Zarabi complete his point.
But Zarabi is just
Gaurav, I can't hear anything. Can you please organize?
Yes.
Gaurav, I think if a comparison of absolute numbers is to be done, we can also bring out data of what was spent from 2004 to 14, and many of these amounts were pittances in terms of the percentage of the total spending of the union budget. But because I'll be accused of being partisan, let me just focus on the need for reform of this scheme.
Sir, facts are facts. Facts are not partisan. We put out every fact in public domain and let Janata decide.
Okay, then let me just say this. In the last year of the Congress government, 33,000 crore rupees were spent on this scheme. In just the most recent year, 30,000 rupees additional have been given over the budgetary allocation. So, we can do this number game for long. The point is that no scheme, whether a state or a center scheme, can remain frozen in time because just someone thought of taking an idea from Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji's government and they implemented it, and that was good, and then saying that it becomes something for us to live for 100 years. Absolutely not. No amount of badgering someone on national television will take away from this point. This scheme needs substantial reform, and in the 4 areas that it is being focused on, disaster resilience, livelihood security, water security, which sane person can argue against the need for better targeted spending? It's the same that was done with cooking gas subsidies. It was the same that was done with cooking gas subsidies, or with petrol and diesel subsidies, or for the matter that for the last 3 years, despite volatility in crude oil prices, changes have not been passed on to customers, to users in India. So let's speak facts here.
So that is, this government did not pass it on. We deregulated diesel and petrol. Why did the government not pass on when the petrol and diesel oil prices went down? That is not our fault.
Why were there so many? Why were there unfunded liabilities on the oil account, Dr. Shama Mohammad? And I will not get your name wrong. I have decency to get your name wrong. I will not call you whatever and do no whatever about this.
Those liabilities were
Let's
finished
talk
in
maths.
2018. That's why I'm saying your
Madam spokesperson, let's stick to facts.
That's what you are not talking facts. You're speaking
Madam
for Mr.
spokesperson, let's stick to facts. Gaurav, it's your show. I'm going to keep quiet on this
I
one.
want to bring in Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan.
Do not come out as
Guru-
a spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata
No,
Party.
ma'am, that's
Next time,
completely
be an
uncalled
editor.
for.
No,
That's
do not
completely
behave
uncalled
like
for. A
that.
respected
You should
guest
not
of
come.
mine
Gaurav, don't
stating
bring such people
facts,
who's
ma'am.
partisan.
But I
He
want
is
to
a
bring in
partisan
Guru
person.
Prakash Paswan,
He
and you can
talked
argue
about
with
the-
him.
he
You
talked
can
about
argue with him, ma'am.
liability.
Guru
He
Prakash
talked about the
Paswan,
liability
Congress
of
MP
the
Imran
Congress
Masood, Dr.
government.
Shama
That
Mohammad.
finished in
Permit me,
2018.
Dr.
He doesn't
Shama
know the
Mohammad.
facts.
Doctor,
Mr. Siddharth
please.
does not know facts.
Okay,
That's what I'm trying to
Dr.
say.
Shama Mohammad, permit me. Guru Prakash
No,
Paswan,
Gaurav,
Dr.
he does
Paswan,
not
Dr.
say
Paswan
central government-
only. Congress MP Imran Masood says 1,100 crore payment is still pending to Uttar Pradesh, 500 crore plus to Rajasthan, 1,000 crore plus to Bihar. Opposition states like Bengal are owed 2,300 crore plus. If center does not clear the money, in future puts the burden on states. This scheme is doomed to fail, and that's the way it's being organized according to the Congress.
No, Gauravji, I was patiently listening to all the observations that were raised, but we have to understand it is really pricey from the Congress party, really rich from the Congress party leaders saying that our government is anti-poor. For Congress party, whose leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, has said on multiple occasions that poverty is a state of mind. It's in your pant, it's in your shirt, and pointless and foolish things like that. The data, she was quoting the Niti Aayog data. The Niti Aayog data has fundamentally said, categorically said, that more than 28 crore people have been lifted from the multidimensional poverty index. Point number one. Point number two, look at the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana data. There used to be financial untouchability in this country. More than 55 crore people have come under the organized financial sector. And I really don't understand. And I'm glad Neerja ji brought that point that this was passed by the NAC. At least we can say with a lot of confidence that this VB guarantee Rojgar Ajivika mission that has been democratically passed. But the MNREGA scheme was passed by NAC. Was NAC a democratically elected body? Absolutely not. NAC was a body which was unaccountable. NAC was a body which had no responsibility, nobody to answer to. Madam Sonia Gandhi
yet,
chaired
sir,
the
my
NAC,
question
but
right
it
now
passed all
was
the
very
laws
specific
without
to
any
you
parliamentary
on
or
unpaid
democratic
dues
scrutiny.
to the states.
You have to understand. And the
Unpaid
Congress
dues
party
to
is taking a
states,
higher moral
and
ground to
especially
suggest
opposition
that this
states.
law, which has been
Bengal
categorically
owed
passed
2,000 crore plus.
anti-democratic.
He doesn't want
Okay.
to answer that, Gaurav. He has no answers. That's why.
Okay, Neerja Choudhury, the
let
Congress
him
that
answer.
hailed
Let
MNREGA as a
Gaurav-
revolutionary act during UPA tenure also, during UPA tenure, and we will put out those graphics in public domain, it averaged about 50 to 55 days of employment annually. So while there may have been a guarantee of 100 days, we'll put out those graphics for you that even in UPA era, it was 50 to 55 days and not 100 days employment. You recall Jairam Ramesh saying, it's kitna ped lagaoge, kitna vriksharopad karoge, kitne gadde khodoge. Now, does the new law, when it specifically goes into where employment will take place, does it not attempt to address those issues, madam?
I want to make 3 quick points in response, Gaurav. One,
Yes, ma'am.
that the suggestion was made by NAC, but it was the UPA that passed it. You know, it was passed in 2005,
Absolutely.
came into effect in 2006. Point number 2, I'm all for any law you take stock of it after that number of years. It's a very good thing to do. Is it doing well? Does it need reforms? And I must also say in 2008, if I remember right, Rahul Gandhi led a team of Congress MPs to meet Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to make a case for a better implementation of MNREGA. NREGA at that time. MNREGA it became in 2009. Yes. And they were aware of the fault lines. So it's not that it was working perfectly, and it's possible what your figures show that it's 50 days, 60 days, 70 days, whatever be the reality. Therefore, to look at every aspect of it, I have no problem with that. My worry, I tell you, is what? If the center is in charge of the allocations completely, then will the central government be even-handed with the state governments run by the opposition parties? Or will they use it with elections in mind? That is the real worry.
Okay, Dr. Shama Mohammad, that's the point that you were also raising. So, Guru Prakash Paswan, Dr. Paswan, quickly respond. That's a very pertinent point that's been raised by Dr. Shama Mohammad and by Neerja Choudhury.
And also the states haven't got money. He has not answered you. He's not
Yes.
answering that particular question. Why states have
Yes.
their money has been withheld.
Quickly,
Guru
Dr.
Prakash,
Paswan.
answer. Jawab do. Jawab do.
No, listen,
क्या
ये
करते हैं?
देखिए
जवाब दो।
गौरव, no, मैं आपका जवाब देने के लिए नहीं बैठा हूं, आई एम सॉरी, आपका जवाब देने के लिए नहीं बैठा हूं, यहां अपना दादागिरी मत करिए आप, लगातार बोल रहे हो दूसरों के बारे में आप, learn some manner and then learn some grace and come first. Have the 14, did you read the 14th Finance Commission? We still remember the days of Planning Commission. Chief Minister used to come to Delhi and beg for money.
जवाब नहीं दे रहे हो गौरव.
Okay.
कुछ और
Chief
चीज में
Minister
जा
used
रहे
to
हैं.
come in Delhi and beg for money from your government, madam.
Okay.
Oh, you
From
don't have an
your
answer.
government.
Sir, the
From your
last 1 minute I have on
dictatorial
this part of the
government,
show.
Chief Minister used to come to Delhi and beg for money. So you cannot have that locus standard to speak on that. I'm sorry. Look at the recommendation of the 14th Finance Commission, the 15th Finance Commission. 42% of the revenues to the state government
So,
directly.
Gaurav, he does
We
not
work
have
for
an
cooperative
answer
federalism.
why
We
the
work with the
central
spirit of
government
Team
has stopped
India.
the money to
Country
states.
cannot be run from
See,
10
he's
janpat.
gone
I'm
somewhere
sorry.
else. जवाब नहीं
Enough,
है आपके
enough
पास.
of your, enough,
जवाब
enough,
नहीं
ma'am.
है.
No. That
आप
is not
झूठ
going to
आप
work.
जवाब नहीं
That
है.
is not
जवाब
going
तो
to
दो.
work. You should learn some grace and
Why
manners
don't you
first.
give them-
आप जब बोलेंगे
Okay.
खुद से तो और कोई सब
Divert
शांत
and
बैठेंगे.
distract.
14th
Sir,
Finance
but my
Commission पढ़ के आइए
specific
आप.
question,
15th
my
Finance Commission
specific
पढ़ के आइए
question,
आप. कुछ पढ़ते
Sir,
लिखते
my
हैं नहीं और यहाँ
specific
आकर के भाषण
question,
देते हैं आप.
unpaid dues to
14th
states
Finance
and whether the
Commission recommendation
center
has-
can
Gaurav
use
ji,
these funds as a
Gaurav ji,
weapon against
14th
opposition
Finance
ruled
Commission
states.
have increased the revenue of states, unlike the Planning Commission of India, where the Chief Minister used to come to Delhi and beg for money. This government, highly unaccountable government, the body NAC, which was not answerable to anyone. Who was
enough.
NAC to
Siddharth
decide the
Zarabi,
allocation
you wanted
of
to
funds?
come in.
I want
The
to ask
last
the
30
Congress
seconds.
spokesperson
Last
tonight.
30 seconds.
She
Siddharth
absolutely has
Zarabi.
no
Only
answer.
Siddharth Zarabi.
14th
Gaurav,
Finance
just one
Commission,
line.
15th Finance Commission, the share of state revenue
No,
has seen
just
a
one
substantial
line.
increase.
As per budget data, and I've been looking it up, 55% of gross tax revenue is given to states. So, just want to say it's an absolute lie for all states, not Congress or opposition, all BJP, Congress, every state, to say that they don't have enough resources. 55 rupees out of every 100 rupees of gross tax revenue of the center goes to the states. Once the next Finance Commission document comes out in the public, the facts will speak for themselves.